All right, here we go. Here's number one. Put your phones away, please. How many times I have to say that? We're going to solve this by quadratic formula. However, what you're going to find out is the radical, and we have a large number here, so somebody's got to get their calculator going. Save us a little bit of time here. So remember, it's that -1 times b, or negative b, plus or minus the square root of b squared times 4, or minus 4 times a times c, all over 2 times a. And you have your reference sheet for that. Look at it. Know what you're doing there. All right, so that's the a, that's the b, that's the c, if it's in quadratic form, which is b squared, p, and no p. So a is 3, well, I know a is here and here. B is 6, it's here and here. And C is -72. Do not forget your negative. I've seen lots and lots and lots of people forget the negative, and that's why they're incorrect on theirs, okay? So what are we gonna do? This part, all three of those in the bottom. Get to that habit, circle it, and get your brain knowing what you're doing. -1 times 6, I've seen everybody miss this too, because they're not doing it. -6 times 1 is -6. Do the math. 6 squared, or 6 times 6, is 36. Somebody help me with the calculator. -4 times 3 times -72 should be positive something. It's 12 times 72. Who's got it? What'd you get, Mary? What? 864? Everybody get that? Okay. 2 times 3 is 6. What do we do next? We do what's inside the radical. It's the only thing we can do. We can't do anything here or here because of that radical, or that square root. So what is 36 plus 864? 900. Now, what I want you to do in your calculator is take that. It's going to come out different. These actually are going to be easier for you. Square root 900. And I hit equals, and what happens? Oh, that one shouldn't be. Oh, you know what? Ha, I lied. These are easy. These are the same. Monday, or I guess Monday, we're gonna do the different ones. So that's fine. I just realized it. It's 30. They're gonna come out equal. I didn't realize I didn't change it. I thought I was gonna do it today. I have about a week's worth planned out, guys. A week and a half worth of these planned out. So what was it? 30. So these will work out. These are the same as yesterday and the day before. I guess we're gonna do the new stuff on Monday. All right, to split it apart, right? Oops. Plus. That's threw me all off. I had my mind set on doing the other way. So anyway, if this didn't work out here, it would be over, but it's working out. So -6 plus 30 is what? 24 over 6. And -6 minus 30 is -36 over 6. 24 over 6 is what? 4. -36 over 6, -6. Whoops, there we go. Sorry, these did work out. I didn't even look at the answer sheet yet until I saw that work out, and I'm like, whoops, well, I guess it is going to work out. Hopefully you have that. That's all right, I'll give it to you here in a second. So A, B, C. I always like starting with the A and just putting where I know the A is. And I know the A is after the 4 and after the 2. So I always just put it there. It's just easier for me to remember it that way. And then I know the B's are the first two. So I put the 11 and the 11. And the C is the very last one. It's nice to remember. It's the last one here. It's the last one here. So my B's are in front of the numbers. My B is the first and second one, and the C, which is the last one, is the last one. -1 times 11. This is the most, guys, that's the most missed one. -1 times 11, -11. It changes its sign. What's 11 squared? 121. -4 times 6 times 5. Or so that's the easiest way is 6 times 5 is 30 times 4. 120, -120. Yes. And 2 times 6 on the bottom, which is 12. All we can do is the inside, right? -11, the plus minus, the division sign, and then 121 minus 120 is just 1. Then we do the entire thing, right? The square root of 1. And what is the square root of 1? Yeah, it's just 1. Notice everything stays. We just change the 1. Once you square root the 1, the square root is gone, okay? And then we break it apart. -11 plus 1 over 12 and -11 minus 1 over 12. We're going to do the tops, right? -11 plus 1 is -10 over 12. And if you want to do that, that's easy in your calculator, right? Because you get, when you do -11 plus 1, you're going to get -10. Then hit just divided by 12, and you're going to get what? -5 over 6. And then -11 minus 1 is -12 over 12. And -12 over 12 is -1. -1. I need a new green marker. And I check my answer on the back, and yes, I did it correctly. Most of you guys should have this down. This is pretty easy. Rome, did you need this? Here's number 1 right here. All right, let's look at number 3. And this is the last one I'm going to do. And if you guys don't have a reference sheet here, or a clean one, I can give you one. So we have a 1 out here, right? As the A, 6 is the B, and 9 is the C. Remember, if there's nothing out there, throw a 1 on there. So I like to do my A's first. I know it's the one behind the -4 and the 2. Do my B second. I know it's the first and second. So I get 6 and 6. And the last is the last, which is C. Now it's plus 9. So we're just going to put 9 in there. Be careful of that negative. We've been missing that. All right, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to do that. We're going to do the square. We're going to do the multiplication, and we're going to do the multiplication. So -1 times 6, make sure you do that, is -6. 6 squared, 36. -4 times 1 is -4 times 9 is what? -36. Very good. And 2 times 1 is 2. I think it's time for these green markers to go bye-bye, as well as the orange. All right. So now we're going to do the inside. What's 36 divided by 36? 0. So negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 0 over 2. What is the square root of 0? 0. So negative 6 plus or minus 0 over 2. Doesn't matter when we break this one apart. It's still going to be the same on both sides. And the only reason I'm doing this is because if that ends up being 0, which it won't, but if there was a 0 in any other operation, it is different. Because if these two numbers were switched, it's different. That's why I'm having you do this. It's still negative 6 over 2, and this is negative 6 over 2. Same thing. So we're just going to bring them down together, right? So what is negative 6 divided by 2? Negative 3. Whoops. Negative 3. You can just leave it as one thing. And if you look on your answer sheet, it's there. You can erase the other one. That'll get you in the habit of doing it. Okay? All right. I did this yesterday, and I was looking at this, so I'm not going to do another example. But on Friday, this is what was going to happen. Or I'm sorry, on Monday, we're going to end up with like a square root 56. And if we check that in our calculator, look what it comes out to be. 2 and the radical 14. So 2 square root of 14. That's going to be the end of what we can do, except for maybe reducing the problem. So that's what's coming up Monday. Does everybody see that real quick? Look up here. This is important. Monday, I did the square root of 56. It came out 2 square root 14. Romeo, look up there, please. Alvin, look up there, please. I did the square root of 56. Do you see how it came out to this? Not a perfect number. This is what we're going to be dealing with on Monday, where it's not going to be a perfect number. All right, so we have to do some reducing, and we'll see it. There is a mathematical way to do this. We did this at the beginning of the year, but our calculators are doing it, and we're running short on time, so I'm going to introduce it to you. If you don't have a calculator with it, we'll have to figure out a way to get you some. All right. Have a good weekend. Be safe.